Hannah be out here creating words and it's like, sweetie, baby girl.
I'm like befumbled. I mean, I don't know another word.
Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Colton. I can't hear you. Aye, aye. If that seemed ridiculous to you, it was on par with this episode of The Bachelor. Hey y'all, it's your girl ItsNasB and I'm here to recap episode 3 of season 23, that's Colton's season of The Bachelor. So even though I did that ridiculous intro, I want to tell you, if you missed this week's episode, you didn't miss much. An alternative title was Much Ado About Nothing. But your girl loves her in alliteration and I just couldn't pass up another one. So this recap won't be in the order of how things happened in the episode. I feel like it would be better storytelling if I related to you as I would to a friend. And also I felt like they dragged out one particular storyline over the course of the episode and it was just like, sis, I was over it. And I figured if I'd be over it, you'd be over it too. Now I'm going to get into the details and I'm going to give you guys the cute stuff before I get into the mess. So we're starting with Elyse and her one-on-one with Colton. It was absolutely adorable. You can tell that there's an attraction there between these two. I feel like even outside of the show, they could actually be a couple. I don't know that they would be one that lasted forever. I don't know that they would have even gotten married. But I actually could see something happen with the two of them and it would be something that, dare I say, would be good. And of course, it was really cute. He brought the kids out and how we introduced them was to say to her, I know you thought this was going to be a one-on-one, but it was a group date. Y'all, when those babies came running out, the absolute cutest. Seeing the smiles on their faces just really made my heart smile. It looked like a really sweet date and Elyse was really into it. They had their later moment of having dinner. Her story about her sister, I don't know if anybody could have listened to that and not cried.
And found out that she had this tumor that is cancerous, and with her being pregnant at the time and obviously putting that baby first, there wasn't a whole lot the doctors wanted to do besides get that baby as close to term as possible. She passed, and it was just awful. But now we have a new little member of our family.
That was a real moment for me. It high-key was too deep for a show like The Bachelor. Not to say that she shouldn't have shared it. I just felt like the show is so much about petty and shallow things that when you have a moment like that, it feels sort of out of place. Man, more power to her family and to that baby especially. One development that I felt came from this episode and her one-on-one date in particular, I feel like more people are seeing the appeal of Elyse. I could actually see Elyse as a contender for the Bachelorette. It's usually whosoever is the runner-up, maybe they go as far as whosoever came third. And I don't think she's necessarily going to go that far, but I do see her as being a really good candidate for it. If they make Elyse the Bachelorette though, I do not want them to use this age angle. I'm not sure I'll be able to quell my nausea if they do. The other fun part of the episode was of course seeing Terry Crews and his wife. Terry Crews and his wife Rebecca Crews were celebrity guests, and I see Terry Crews and immediately my mood is lifted by at least 50%. And now we get into the mess. This episode in particular showed me that all of these women could be actresses in some way. From faking excitement over these questionable group dates to faking connections to managing to muster tears at the right moments to evoke sympathy, they were delivering Emmy-worthy performances. Get them their SAG cards, okay? This pirate adventure date made no sense to me. My issue is I don't understand how they determined who were the winners or who made it to the finals. So there was the jousting element.
You are going to be taking these and trying to knock each other off.
And one would assume that since the aim was to knock off your opponents, it would be the ones who did that the most who would make it to the end. However, from what we saw, Hannah was knocking girls down left and right.
I'm killing this right now. And I definitely think he noticed me.
You did a good job.
I feel pretty good, so I'm feeling good.
Tracey knocked off maybe one girl, and yet in the end, for the show that takes place in front of the audience, they picked Tracey and Kaylin. Now I have a theory. I feel like the producers thought Kaylin and Colton look really good together and they wanted to engineer things so that Kaylin ends up there with him. But also, of course, they wanted to egg on the drama between her and Hannah. And they figured Hannah seeing Kaylin get a prize that they were both competing for yet again would trigger her. And they were right.
Oh, there's something going on over there.
It's a little frustrating to watch Kaylin engage with Colton right in front of me.
Nailed it.
I'm gonna get more into that love triangle between Colton, Hannah B, and Kaylin a little bit later. Right now, I'm gonna take a small detour to talk about Demi and Tracey and how that little rivalry is turning into Demi and Courtney. So last week we saw Demi and Tracey have that whole thing where Tracey freaked out because Demi asked to borrow Colton while Colton was talking to Tracey. We also saw how Courtney seemed to be really affected by it.
Demi wanted to take him to the fantasy because I don't know what's happening in there. And she got on a rope, so I don't know what's under the rope, and I'm a little nervous.
I feel like Courtney has somehow taken that on in a very personal way, and I do not know why. Why does her voice always sound so shaky? I feel like she triggers my anxiety when she starts talking because I'm so upset.
I'm like, because I'm so pissed. We talked. We didn't talk that long. Yeah. And Demi came out, and sorry, I'm just like the mannerisms, the way you do it, you know?
Yeah. Courtney's just always frazzled, and it's upsetting to me and my homegirls because it's like, if you can't keep it together on The Bachelor, then where the hell can you though? Y'all got that? Y'all got it. That was a meme reference. Yeah, I'ma just need her to pull it together. Just pull it together, sis, because you're stressing all of us out. So this week, when Demi interrupts Courtney's time with Colton,
it's difficult in group settings, and I'm not used to that, so it's just like
Hi. Can I steal you? Hey, it's so good to see you. So
good seeing you.
She was ready to have a talk.
But at the end of the day...
Do you want to come chat with me? Okay. Sure.
Like, she took Demi aside, and I must say I found it really funny, the look on Demi's face, because I too was annoyed, girl. It's like, I'm not here for you. I'm here for this man, and you're wasting my time, you're wasting yours, but more importantly, you're wasting my time. Oh my gosh. Demi has what they ended up calling the bird box moment, where she's blindfolded Colton and she started spanking him, and it was like, why? Again, for me, it was clear she was trying to be sexual, and I just was not feeling it. I mean, she's clearly not there to do it for me. It's for Colton or the cameras or whatever, but I'm gonna give it a pass. Also, when you're spanking somebody like that, don't you need consent for that kind of play? Yes to Demi being focused on what she came there for, and yes to her being visibly annoyed by these women not being focused on the right thing. And it's still a no on her and this ageist bullshit. Anyways, let's get back on the pageant drama expressway. Here's the long and short of it for me. These ladies need to talk about it, tell us what really happened, if something happened at all, or shut the hell up about it. Shut it down or shut it all the way up. Y'all saw how last week I was interested to find out what was going on. These two had moments with Colton where they either pulled him aside or he pulled them aside to find out what was going on. They were crying to other people. They were crying in the confessionals or whatever you call it. And I have yet to know what the hell went down if something actually went down. By the end of the episode, I was incredibly bored. And right now, I genuinely don't even care what happened. I just want them to just shut up about it. I'm not even sure if I really believed anything happened because right now it just seems petty. The night portion of the pirate group date, Hannah took Colton aside and told him, hey, I don't know if you know, but we're not friends. And I just wanted to tell you that because I don't think she's like a good person. And I feel like if you're into her, you can't be into me. And Hannah just essentially shot herself in the foot. It was a self-inflicted kiss of death. You do not want to be the first one that goes and talks about some drama between you and another girl in the house. I want to note that earlier though, Kaylin kind of trivialized it. She referred to whatever was going on between her and Hannah B as
a weird tension thing between us.
And I just don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of the whole situation. And like I said to you guys, I'm over them at this point. But I'm still going to tell y'all what happened. I just found her calling it a weird tension really funny given the fuss that was made about it before and then also in this episode. And the fact that even after she got the group date rose, she wasn't happy.
Why are you crying? What's up, girl?
I should be happy, but I'm not because it's personal stuff. It just like sucks because I should be really happy and I'm not.
I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts about that in a couple. Hannah was played all throughout this episode by others, and then she ended up playing herself. I peeped game. On the jousting challenge, Kaylin didn't even try. She was like,
Hannah, you're strong. I know you're strong. So like, be gentle. Be gentle. Sorry. I don't like this. I know how strong she is. That's not fair.
sis, you ain't slick, but you is. I think she wanted Hannah to come off as aggressive and hostile, and to have herself come off as meek. And Hannah played right into her hands. Another person who has played Hannah, and I hope y'all peep this too, was Heather. Little Miss Never Been Kissed. She was there stoking the fires. I have nicknamed her Supplicant because that's what we call people who boost people up. What a girl can boost. It's mostly a Jamaican thing, I think, but anybody who has seen the commercials where they're like, Supplicant, boost you up. Yeah. Somebody who boosts you to go in and instigate something, to take on a fight, and they're not in it with you, right beside you. They don't have the same stakes. They don't have the same amount to lose. Yeah, watch out for those people. And that's what Little Miss Heather was. She played Hannah masterfully.
This is what I think. If you genuinely believe Kaylin is wrong for him and like she's his wife, then like you have to tell him.
Yeah. Are you gonna tell him the truth about the situation with Kaylin?
I don't want to talk about her. There's been like a lot of petty girl drama things. I'm done with Kaylin.
This is like the
I'm
end
not doing this anymore.
Who knows what she's talking about, but she's not saying she loves you. My fear is that she's gonna go talk crap about you, and then he's gonna believe that. And then he's gonna think you are the one to blame, and then he thinks that you're the problem.
How did it not click to Hannah B that, hey, maybe she doesn't have my best interest at heart? It's clear to me that Heather was like, I'm getting at least one of these pageant girls out of the game. I am either gonna get Hannah B to stick her foot in her mouth with Colton and have him be like, I don't really want somebody who's gonna bring the house drama to me, or Colton is actually gonna listen to Hannah B and send home Kaylin. Either way, Heather is safe because she got somebody else to do her dirty work. It's masterful. I want to talk about something that I noticed early on that I then pieced together because of what I heard later on in the episode. When Hannah calls herself the Hannah Monster, I'm not sure that she ever actually said that. Because if you listen to it, it sounds like they spliced together her saying her name and her saying the word monster.
The Hannah Monster.
Now I know that later on she says she has a beautiful monster inside of her.
There's a beautiful monster inside of me.
And I think what happened there was she gave them that soundbite and they ran with it. She's not exactly making it hard for herself to be portrayed as somebody who has something wrong, who may actually snap, like Kaylin has said. Like, why are you hissing? Why are you hissing, Hannah? What is going on? Why even refer to yourself as a beautiful monster? I don't even know. But clearly she is gold for the producers. She is the gift that keeps on giving. And because of that, she managed to secure her spot for another week, even though that didn't seem to be enough for her.
I am happy. I mean, I'm glad I'm here. But I don't feel very good. This is not fair. I hate her.
What I get from Hannah B and Kaylin is that they don't so much want Colton as they don't want the other one to have him, or they don't want the other one to go further in this competition than they themselves. Why else were both of them unhappy and crying about the other one being there after they got their rose? Are you here for the man or not, sis? We're here for some dick. We're not here to be dicks. I feel like it's blatantly set up where we're supposed to prefer one person's story over the other. It happens to be the person who seems like she's more stable, she's more in control. And for that reason, I'm not buying into either story. Kaylin gives me queen bee vibes. Not necessarily a queen bee that gets that position naturally, but more one who orchestrates it. She's quick to get others to rally around her, to fight on her behalf, and they fall for her charms really quickly, really easily. Hannah B internalizes a lot, and she seems to try and mold herself to fit into the idea of whatever she thinks other people will like or want. And when you do that, it's hard to be secure in yourself because you're not being true to yourself. Actually, I feel like both of them might be just as in the wrong. I feel like when you form friendships in a space of competition, you shouldn't expect that to necessarily be long lasting. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm thinking you should be aware that these people are, yes, putting on their best faces. You should also be aware that when the stress starts getting to them and when they're being evaluated and people are being given roses, crowns, whatever, you're gonna see different sides to them. And it's not so much that I don't think these ladies got that, but I feel like they ended up taking it very personal. To me, both of these women aren't being authentic, and this is not exclusive to them. I think there are others in the house who aren't being authentic. I think when you go into any kind of competition like this, you'll find it, and even in real life. The difference with the two of them, and it's the difference that we'll find in real life as well, is that charm and beauty, likability, that whole thing will bring you a far way. Both of these ladies are beautiful, but I think it's clear that Colton is more attracted to one of them. And it's not the one who, in his eyes, is knocking others down, literally and otherwise. The impression I get is that Colton likes a woman that he'll have to protect. Note, when he went to Kaylin to confront her and she turned on the waterworks. That's a good move, sis. Not for real life, but for this game, it's a good move. He got up, got that group date rose in front of Hannah B and everybody else, and brought it back and gave it to Kaylin. Now you tell me. All of this is significant because, funny enough, Colton started going with this strong woman narrative that the entire show is trying to sell us on. I'm here for this storyline. I just wish they genuinely believed it, both Colton and the producers. I'm not saying that the two are mutually exclusive, that you can't be a strong woman and still cry and still be vulnerable. In fact, I think vulnerability and expressing that actually takes strength. I'm just saying, I don't know how much I believe that Colton wants somebody who expresses strength. And that takes us to the other group date where they had the Bachelor Strongest Woman Competition. Who got the group date rose on that one? The girl who could not do even one of the tasks. And I'm not talking even the big task.
Fred, I'm glad she has the crowd on her side because she has yet to move the sled.
Yeah.
An inch. In fact, I think she's moved it backwards.
She couldn't do the smaller one that took place in the gym earlier.
And give it all you got. All you got. Give it all you got. Oh!
But she put on some waterworks. And what happened? I'm just saying, y'all. I see what they say to me, but then I also see their actions. They're not adding up. In general, Colton wasn't exactly itching to spend time with any of the women that placed in terms of exhibiting their physical strength. And maybe when he says a strong woman, he means strong personality type. But even that, I'm not sure I believe based on the ones that he's actually showing attraction to. These ladies were exerting themselves in the wrong way. If you want to get in good with Colton, you need only work the muscles in your face enough to just get a tear or two, girlfriend. That's what that man wants. That's what he responds to. And the sooner you get on board the crying train, the easier this entire journey will be for you. Trust me. The man likes what he likes. So they had these different activities that were entirely too much. That limo pull, I'm here wondering if that moment of seeing the person in the car was intentional or not. Because clearly these women weren't pulling it on their own. Then it just throws me off because then I'm like, how did they decide who they were gonna have get a leg up, who they were gonna have the driver actually press the gas for? Still, Colton may not have been, but I was actually impressed by the ladies and them putting in work. You deserved more props than you got. I mean, Onyeka won, and outside of the trophy and a peck that to me was just like more proof that he's not into her, she got this moment with him that I remember explicitly thinking, oh, this is so forced. And then he goes and says,
Onyeka has this energy, this spark, this natural connection that doesn't ever feel forced.
A more believable moment was the one with him and Cassie, and I feel like this is one that we should pay attention to. This is when they're trying to throw hints that, hey, this is a couple that you're supposed to ship.
You know why I think I'm awkward? I think it's because I like you. I'm not usually that awkward.
When I'm around Cassie, I get butterflies in my stomach.
I think we got 2 of those tonight. It was with Cass and it was with Hannah G, who funny enough are the top contenders to be the top 2 of this entire season. He says when he's around her, he feels butterflies. And of course, it's a callback to the first night and it's really cute. I won't lie though, when he said it, I was like, Colton, really? Really? Their moment together where he had her against the wall, that was pretty sexy. If y'all want me to ship people, this is how you get me to do it. But we can't talk about that group date without talking about the fact that Caitlyn got sent home.
I just don't think that you are for me.
Keeping it all the way real, the only interesting thing about Caitlyn is that she got sent home for not being interesting. And I'm not saying that baby girl is not interested in real life. I'm just saying we did not get to see any of that. And that's sad. And then to close out all the activities, instead of having a cocktail party, we had a pool party. Colton was apparently so shook up from having to send home Caitlyn that he just wanted to let loose. Little did he know that Caitlyn and Hannah B had more in store for him. Hannah G managed to get some time with him before all of that though, and I think she was probably the only other person. And in that time, he reassured her of their connection, which was cute.
No, I was stressing a little bit.
No, I want you to know, like, it was nothing other than I'm very confident in what we have.
I get it.
And I know our chemistry, and I know how I feel when I'm around you. Oh, I'm glad you pulled me first.
Just like with Cassie, we're being told to ship this couple. And just like with him and Cassie, he and Hannah G have made it easy for me. And that's just how I like it. I want to believe in the chemistry. It's the least y'all can do. Y'all are attractive people. You have signed up for this show. You have signed up to give us this story. Make it believable. I like that moment where he went to the producer section and had that sit down with Chris Harrison. I think a lot of us really like that. And that was basically the only upside of the pool party for any of us watching that and the Hannah G moment. Then we had that rose ceremony. They made it really dramatic. Hannah B's all, oh my god, I can't believe I don't know if I'm gonna get a rose. And it was really weird to me because none of us is actually going to think that she's not gonna get a rose. We've seen the previews and we also knew that the drama has not been resolved. There's no way he's going to send her home. So that was just really extra to me. But I do remember watching it and looking at who were getting roses and going, wait, hold on. Catherine isn't getting... I was actually shook when she didn't get a rose. And I realized what happened. She came in really big. She brought some drama. And that's why I said to y'all, some people were calling her a villain. I just called her a source of drama. And then she really cooled down on it after. It's like the minute she stopped giving them moments to put on camera, they were just like, alright, enough, bye, no more. Anyways, that's it for this week's recap. Next week's episode looks like it's gonna be a lot of drama. But they tricked me last week with the preview, so I'm not holding my breath. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. Like, sub, and share this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!